Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today we are exploring historic Artisan. I actually went through so many different deck concepts. I almost actually repeated a few of the ones that I went through before. I decided, you know what? I explored Kicker before. It was for Singleton. That didn't pan out well. It might pan out better here in historic. So I decided to give it a shot here. So there are a few key creatures, but there's one thing that's actually very interesting about this deck. So I'm gonna at least in historic, it's actually very interesting. We actually have 8 copies of Into the Roil. Remember this card, Blink of an Eye? That's our second version. In fact, both they're functionally the same. So we got 8 copies of this. We get to buy a lot of time supposedly with that. So what we have here? Well, main plan, Roost of Drakes. So I really want to hit a copy of this. I'm even willing to just drop this turn 1, especially if I have a bunch of these guys on backup. Plan 2, Vine Gecko. It's a creature that grows large. It's very vulnerable to removal, so that's something to consider. We have a few copies of Risen Riptide. That's our backup plan, as well as the Gnarlid Colony. So we have a bunch of creatures. Murasa Sapling to buy some stuff back. Cards I haven't really tested, Grow from the Ashes. We kind of want to accelerate, but maybe not so much. So our actual acceleration is essentially the Vine Geckos. It's essentially a 1-mana accelerant if we kick. And Elfheim Druid, also another accelerant. So we have 7 of those all in all. There are a few other spells with Kicker I haven't quite tried yet. I want to make it main blue for the most part. That's why there's a single Mystic Sanctuary we want to take advantage of. Especially the Into the Roil, especially Jwari Disruption if we can get that off early. The Murasa Sprouting is pretty much there for, like, if our opponent answers the Roost of Drakes, we get to buy it back. Also, the Mystic Sanctuary does well for things like the Balaged Recovery and the Kalni Ambush. So there are a bunch of cards that are not quite tested out very well. I did play a few games. I did get a win. Actually, I got several wins in fact, but it's not perfect. We are really reliant on hitting one of our many bounce spells. There are other kicker spells I'm curious to try, like Saproling Mutation. That one's a good one to have early and it's a good kicker target. That leads us mostly onto green though. I'm probably leaning more towards blue for now. And right off the bat, this one's a good opening hand. We are missing the Roost Drake, but we can accelerate pretty quickly. We can just grow for Ashes for our second island if we have to. We might have to burn a preliminary bounce spell, which is not ideal. Lava Runner, Thornwood Falls. Okay, we don't have to quite burn one quite yet. I am still probably gonna just cast Grow from. Do I cast Grow from the Ashes? I probably still cast Grow from the Ashes. We don't have any of our actual payoffs yet, so that's a bit of a bummer. So I probably should mulligan more aggressively. Let's go for the classic one. We're probably gonna take quite a few hits. Some of the cards are not very great to bounce. Like, I don't want to bounce Pyromancer ever. It's also dangerous. I also don't want to play Saproling early at this rate either, because get ourselves another island. Nice thing is now we have the option to kick our Saproling, or we can kick the Blink of an Eye. We have to be on the lookout. We're pretty much expecting a lot of burn here, so I'm gonna go down to 50. I'm surprised our opponent hasn't cast cards like Light Up the Stage quite yet. That's gonna change. Wizard's Lightning, well, at least the Sprouting bites one. There's a Light Up into probably another Light Up. Well, Fanatical Firebrand, that's actually quite fine too. So I'm probably gonna spend our turn bouncing the Lava Runner during the combat. If our opponent is really antsy, he just hits spikes us. Probably not. Okay, we hit our Roost of Drakes though. Okay, we just telegraphed that we have an Into the Roil, but we kind of have to do it like this, as because I don't want I want to be able to block something. And I have to do it during combat. We have no defense against burn spells, so that's something to consider. Let's assume the worst case scenario, we are taking 9 damage off the burn, so we have to bounce one of these. Opponent goes for the all-in. I'd probably just throw one Drake in front of the Pyromancer, it puts in the graveyard. So we kick. We will get the Drake regardless of what happens. I doubt our opponent's gonna spike this. Spike that one. They get to cast it again for free. They might try to shock this one though, so at least it's burn that's not hitting the face. Okay, I don't need the Elfheim Druid now. I could play the Elfheim Druid as I could still play it as a meat shield. So that's pretty funny. So I could play Elfheim Druid Into the Roil. If I can hit a second Roost of Drakes, that'd be fun. Okay, opponent's going very conventional. Yeah, we will play the Elfheim Killer. Okay, opponent is going to start chucking burn at us. We're not favored to win this one, especially opponents. Yeah, Lightning Strike, Pillar of Flame. We have opponent going really aggressive with the Pillar of Flame. Okay, so yeah, drawing a lot of lands is also a problem. So we're trying to burn out our opponent's resources, but our opponent getting 3 shots of light up the stage, that's like 6 cards drawn. Yeah, it's not looking great for us. At least I know I can do Murasa's. If I survive long enough, we can do Murasa Sprouting as a safety. Opponent probably knows we have an Into the Roil. I'll probably throw it in front of. I'll probably throw the Drake in front of the Lava Runner. For our opponent aims. Opponent going for the damage play. Can't do anything about that. I'm suspecting our opponent just has tons of burn. Well, after you draw 6+ cards, you probably should have tons of burn. Alright, it goes to 7. Funny thing is, another trick we can do is we can actually bounce our own Roost of Drakes, but we're probably still dead anyway. Like, yeah, this was just straight up pure burn. I consider the white-black life game players, but yeah, let's show the deck list while we're still waiting. Opponent just literally do all burn. Hold on. Pass the turn. This is second Roost of Drakes. We're still dead to the next burn. It's kind of like waiting for the inevitable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're probably still dead to the next one. Actually, no, it's just Ramunap Ruins. Yeah, we're dead. So card draw is an issue here. It's not there. There is field research, but that's very expensive for drawing cards into. So we're probably gonna we're gonna pass on the defeat. It's okay. You only need one victory for this event. It's a free event, so we could have gone more aggro if we. So this pretty much shows us how important it is to have one of our win cons in the opening. So we either want an opening Roost, opening Vine Gecko, or an opening Gnarlid Colony. Risen Riptide is also okay as an opener too, but it is a bit on the slow side. So lots of bounce, but no real opener. Okay, I just said all those things, so I'm gonna give this a mulligan. Okay, this is better. We got an opening Roost. We want to hit 4 lands, so I'm actually gonna pass on the. I'm gonna pass on the Colony Ambush. I get to play the Roost turn 1. We get to play the Roost turn 2. Opponent has a budget Thriving Isle. Opponent's also playing Kicker, but it's tree color. So we're gonna see who wins the kicker plan here. Now there are some interesting kicker spells in black. There's the one spell from Dominaria where you sack a creature to get the kicker effect. It works very well with Roost. What other barrier? Okay. So our opponent's gonna get their first kick. We probably saved the Into the Roil. I probably should just cast. Oh wait, no first kick. Okay, fine. Now I'm gonna be hurt if our opponent does have a counter spell. So I'm gonna go for it anyway. We still have a Gnarlid Colony. I think our opponent might be running black to have extra removal. They're not really all in on the kicker package, though. Barrier Breach. That's it. I guess people are expecting Shrines or Double Snare. Okay, so this is so the battle begins. Hold on. 2, 1, 2, 3. Nope. The card draw is actually important for us. Kind of whiffed there. So this is going to be a little bit of a back and forth. Whoever gets more lands wins because they get to sequence more cards together. Gaia's Blessing gets the. Okay, someone was hurt really badly by Mill. Okay, we got our land. So we have the. Actually, want to. Now that I know our opponent's running Barrier Breach, I want to save up the. I want to save the blinks. So we're gonna be very patient on this. Vicious Offering. That's fine, actually. Opponent's bound to play something. Like next turn I can just play Vine Gecko, hold up and hold up a blink. Opponent is starting to Molasses Sproutling gets the Vicious Offering back. So they get the This is gonna be an Into the Roil game. I'm gonna play the Vine Gecko. So the funny thing is, if our opponent goes for the Vicious Offering with Kicker, we can just bounce whatever they're. If it's the Drake, I'll just ignore it. We'll take the hit. Again, we have to use we have to use our bounce spells defensively now. Reclaim the Wastes, makes a token. Sure. Probably sacks one Drake to say take this out. Okay, the math is interesting. I could just pass. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. Okay, there's a Jawari Disruption. Our opponent has way too much mana for this. I'm actually gonna just play this on land. We need the lands right now. Then trade first. Opponent has the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, very interesting. I can cast this for 4, but yeah, no, I need to still have 2 left over. So let's see if our opponent goes for the Vicious Offering in response. They might even... Yep, goes with the kicker. Opponent will get a Drake, we will get a Drake. Not quite parity, but still something. There are cards I opted not to run, like say the... Okay, the Royal Mage, I probably should be running a few. I opted not to run it because there are a lot of times the games end really quickly. Okay. So I have to play the Vine Gecko first. And so we'll see which one our opponent decides to snipe. They might actually... Sniping the Vine Gecko... Yeah, we have to let them snipe the Vine Gecko. We definitely want the Into the Roil back. Not getting... not getting enough lands means we're not getting that many opportunities. Opponent rebuying the Vicious Offering is also very annoying. Blood Beckoning. So now we're even again. Opponent can cast... Okay, can cast the Sproutling. Yeah, buying back the kicker is a problem. I probably could have got... Well, we got the huge loot. Because if I bounce the Sprouting, he just gets the Beckoning back. But he gets it back. Yeah, he's got a lot of loops here. Let's offer the trade first. Okay, there's a Risen Riptide, but we need to hold on to our additional Into the Roil. This will be our last one. So that might be a problem. Wow. We had the Tempo the Roost of Drake, so our opponent having that rando barrier breach. That was very annoying. Go from the ashes, just game. We actually have no answer for an opposing Roost of Drakes or any enchantments for that matter. That's something to consider. Probably, and our opponent is actually doing very well. So I probably might want to sneak in some more card draw. And it has 6 mana, so can cast the Into the Roil Mage, buy something back. That's probably what they'll do. I'm gonna end up having to sack one of our... I might end up having to sack the Gnarlid Colony. Yeah, he just keeps buying this back, so he has a loop. We have no way of hitting our opponent's hand. There's another Murasa Sprouting that's gonna cost us 5 mana. We can use it to... Okay, we don't want this to die, but our opponent can sack it anyway. So we need to incentivize our opponent to do it on an off time. Like, our opponent gets 2 creatures back. He definitely wants to sack this first. That's a given. So we can protect our own Gnarlid Colony. No, I know I was gonna let it die. I had a second. Yeah, we lost the Drake battle. Our opponent getting the jump on us in Drakes and getting the jump on us in lands, that's a big deal. Yeah, we need a way to race this, but that probably means we need to get yet another Roost of Drakes, which we don't have. We're not... Yeah, we're not gonna win this one. Another blink. So we know the Royal Mage is just gonna get this back. Yeah, we kind of want to have cards that eat the graveyard. Not in these colors, though. At least the blinks are acting as straight up removal. But I probably want to concede here. Yeah, let's concede here. Let's just move on forward. Our opponent has a lock on us. It's basically a 3-card lock. Without any way for us to interact with it. Do I want to go into a third color? Because the kicker sacrifice a creature is it's actually very cheap. Can actually cast a lot of cards along the way. We'll do one more game with this one first, then we'll explore that tricolor kicker. My only gripe against it is that my only dropped the... I just muted the mic. So, okay, at least we're not taking that much damage. I was having a conversation with my father, so business stuff. Okay, there's a lofty denial that... Okay, we need to start rushing. So we need to start putting up bodies. Opponent probably has answers for this. Yeah, if you're running a spells deck, you probably have an... That's an annoying answer. Gust of wind, costless if you control a creature flying. Okay, so we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one... Yeah, it's annoying, but we're not really gonna kick anything. We need to force our opponent to use up cards. Yeah. Spread Dragon again, so yeah, the Lofty Denial's like Fire Prophecy. That's just... I guess opponent discards the... No, actually we do not... We know that... No, we do not know what they put in the bottom. Let's be fair. I also play Fire Prophecy, so... 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's a Lofty Denial, it's X equals 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's play the Gnarled Colony. Yeah, missing mana also hurts us. There's the Lofty Denial that I expected, so that goes into a tree. Actually, we'll... Let's hope our opponent doesn't have another one. If our opponent has another one, yeah, then... Wow, we're just losing to straight up aggro. Where did all the slow decks from last night end up? Okay. Actually, yeah, we'll do it now when our opponent literally just has one card in hand left. Basically, it's a buffer against a counter spell. So, Winged Words. Oh gosh, drawing cards. And this is our opponent's like getting all these benefits off a single one. So 1, 2, 3. So I need to kick. I need to get the blink back. I didn't expect much from that experiment. Well, what did our opponent buy back with Experimental Overload? Probably the Lofty didn't. Up. Okay, just gonna grow that. Our opponent knows we have Blink, so I think they're digging for a counter spell. They might have it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna pull the trigger now because that's pretty much it. And it doesn't matter because we're dead to the we're dead to the next Widow form anyway. Yeah, and then there's a shot too. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's enough. So wow, we're just losing. We're just losing to decks that are drawing more cards. Even the mono red deck, like what was that? Three copies of Light Up the Stage. So we need ways to draw cards. We also need ways to be aggro. Okay. There is one spell that lets us kind of draw cards. Okay, let's check our underperformers right now. The Elfheim Druid's kind of an underperformer. Disruption is kind of an underperformer. Yeah, we need ways to draw cards here. Can't run. I want to put the Curious Obsession in, but it's relying off We don't have that many creatures. 17. Most of it's non-creature spells. Okay, you know what? That we're shifting plans. We're going mostly green. So we kind of want ways to accelerate. I guess our Boreal Grazer gives us some time. It also accelerates lands, so we can do that. So I'm actually gonna cut. No, I can't cut too many of the disruptions. I probably could cut some of the Riptides then. So we need to do a land balance again. 1923. So actually considering this is fine, but let's see. Cut 3 of these. Cut 3. No, I don't want to cut that many. Probably cut. The Grow from the Ashes is kind of weak now, so I'm actually gonna cut that. Add another forest. So we are still at 19 lands plus. I'm still keeping the Elfheim Druids for now, but I might consider Saproling Okay, so what is our way of drawing a card? Kenrid's Transfer. Explore is also a good way. Visionary, not so much. If I want to go on team, well, we are supposedly drawing cards off this, but it's kind of sad that I'm saying this. We need to draw even more. Where's that 4 mana spell that? Yeah, there's Recon Mission. We can use Recon Mission. That this assumes that we actually land creatures that can hit our opponent. It does mean that we will be taking out the Riptides altogether. I'll be putting in Saproling Migration. It's also weird because this is gonna be, well, we can cycle it, I guess. Okay, going for a little change of plans. I'm also gonna not go all in on the Grazers. So this is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 lands. Probably want another ambush. I'm willing to craft that one. I guess we can cut. Cut one Bubble Snare. So a few changes there. We're gonna export so that I don't have to change the whole thing. Yeah, we're gonna try this. We're gonna try this version. See if this one pans out better. If we get the great start, it's really great. But if we don't get that start, then it's a real problem. So we'll save this one. Okay, awesome. I just realized that my camera might be way too bright, so you might have seen my father walking. Yeah, I should adjust this to be darker. Video input. Yeah, how did I do this before? I dropped down the brightness. Yeah, basically I need to darken my background. So yeah, dropping brightness helps. Let's apply that. Contrast is way low already. Oh no, that's better. There you go. Finally got the matches. That took a while. I hope it doesn't bode ill for us. half an hour in, not a single win. Well, we didn't even get a game. What the heck? Unbelievable. Things, it's all coming out Millhouse, guys. I'm not joking. Yeah, I like this one better. The halo up here notwithstanding, but I already put quite a bit of paper inside the lamp here, so I'm not making any more adjustments to that. I suppose I could put, yeah, I could put a little more. That might work. Okay, so yeah, we'll keep this. I will hold on to the disruption. So we have multiple options. I'll hold on to the disruption for now. I'm so tempted to just drop this, but we don't even have the second blue for this or for this. Well, technically, wow, opponent's playing super conservative. Opponent ops. Okay, we'll let that slide. So this tells us it's a sort of spells deck. I don't think it's pure control. And it's not, has another spike okay. Wow, only this. Okay, so we're trying to draw another land. Communications fine. There's another Boreal Grazer. Very late. Still gonna hold, which is very annoying considering the situation, because our opponent's bound to cast something, but we're getting to the point where I think our opponent's okay, literally played around it. So our opponent is already aware of the Jwari disruption, so we're not gonna bother. We're going to just might be too early. Okay, we'll go my turn. Let's see. Okay, first we're gonna play this as a land. There's no point. Next turn I want to play this. It's just gonna eat a shock probably. That's a point. I'm just gonna play the Arboreal Grazer. Let our opponent know our rules. But otherwise we do have a decent blocker for this. Now this is when our opponent starts dropping all those spells. Yeah, so very, very good discipline on our opponent's part. Or not. This could be the expensive version with Crackling Drake. So we have 6 mana virtually. So yeah. That's of course. Well, no Arclight Phoenix. No. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it doesn't counter it, so I'm actually gonna pass. I want to run everything out, but I'm pretty sure our opponent doesn't. Okay. I can let this. I can save this one. It will neuter his draw card. I can also bump. Sorry, I was thinking. I was thinking I did not want to draw a card. Yeah, so we're gonna lose our Arboreal Grazer again. Right? Opponent's now gonna start going live. I think we can afford to take initial damage here. We need to use this to hold this back. Or force it to eat another spell. Field hazard. So yeah, I have to use more spells here. Now I need to start considering bouncing these other things. Now hit our roost. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna cast this straight. I really do not know what's in our opponent's hand. Now we have the 6 mana for Sapling Migration. It's very poor against this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can play this. That sets me up with 4 mana. So that gives me a discount. So I probably have to go discount Gnarlid Colony or discount Mirasa Sapling. I'm gonna go for the Gnarlid. Gets us something to block even if it's just Enigma Drake. Lofty Denial. Okay, so but we get the other 2. So we're definitely blocking the Drake. We're gonna say, yeah, Lofty Denial. Wow. Opponent is cracking, so we're now beating up in the air. Yeah, our lack of air defense might be an issue here. Yeah, not being able to get our opponent early was an issue. And now we're stuck with a bunch of ground. Too much. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So we have 7 mana. So not so great for us. One, we only... Strong Dragon again, wow. Oh, that's 12 Drakes. And if our opponent has yet another Lofty Denial, then it's going to be for us anyway. So we're just going to bounce the Enigma Drake. I think we can draw another card. So we can't take that hit, so we have to show crack it. So we have 7. We need... This is 6 and 2. Still 7 mana. Yeah, these are not turning out well. Yeah, we can concede here. We might survive one more, but wow. Between that Lofty, then we're not really good at playing with counter spells, are we? I might revert back to the previous list. That one probably had more play. Come on, give us a decent hand that doesn't just get wrecked by a random barrier breach. Yeah, the recon is not looking so hot anymore. That's also quite expensive. I might go back. We really need the ramp. I might go back to Grove of the Ashes. So 1, 2, 3. No, mulligan. We don't have. Okay, we're keeping this one. We're binning. We're binning the recon mission. So turn 1 colony territory, turn 2 Gecko. Let's see if that's okay, green, so not quite removal yet. Oh, let's see what the follow-up color is. White. Okay, not... Okay, it's landfall. It's not quite removed. Oh, the opponent's breaking. So we have to go for it now. Great. Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop Grazer. It doesn't do anything unless it's turn once. Oh, opponent's playing Absent. Has their own Grazer. And, okay, opponent just got whiffed on lands. Okay, so now we know that the Grazer's bad play. I said we need mana, we need card draw. There's actually a solution for that that lands on turn 2 quite perfectly. So we're gonna make one additional change. Usually I don't get to look at this because it's an artifact, but it's historic. It's pretty much the only shot we're gonna get at using it. I'm gonna cut one sapling migration. Actually, alternate plan, we could just go more like this. I don't mind the bubbles. Okay, maybe I do mind the bubbles near a bit. Recon mission's also not quite doing its thing. We need... Oh, you know what? There's actually a spell that draws cards. Why am I resisting it? We don't have to kick it. And the Royal Mage is actually something to consider. But first, card draw, field research. So let's do a recheck on our lands. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, more blue. I guess we can... We don't need this much. We'll cut one field research. We'll add one Tazim Royal Mage because it works so well for our opponent. It might work well for us. So let's make those changes again. This time I have to type them out. Okay, that should be it. And yeah, we're gonna key... Yuck. No payoffs, all tap lands. Wow, this is even worse. Okay. I do have to keep something eventually. We do have a pseudo payoff. So we have a turn 2 Vine Gecko. We'll see if we... Okay, white. So far, so beloved princess. Okay. So if our opponent doesn't answer this, we have a turn 3 blink. Otherwise, I just have to do Elfheim Druid. The odds of our opponent having things like a glass casket are actually quite high, so we might have to consider. I also forgot to rebalance her lands. Okay. Oh no, it's knights. I'm gonna offer the trade. So if our opponent doesn't mess with the gecko, we have quite a few ways to back up. If our opponent swings into vet, then of course I'm gonna swing back. Okay. So missing lands. I really would like another land, so I have to Into the Roil backup. Let's see what our opponent does now. Ardent Veil Tactician, tap up to 2 target creatures. That's actually fine. We'll let that happen. It gives us an excuse to play the LP token. So now we have virtual 6 mana. And it goes Fireborn Knight. Oh, okay, so that's his strategy. We'll probably take some damage from here. No, it's understandable. We need to just keep growing this one and maybe even keep bouncing this. Power 3 or greater. We can actually block this. So yeah, we can't block. So actually we didn't want to play the Vine Gecko too much. So what we could do... Yeah, we're just looking for lands. Nope, no land. I could just... No, I can't cast a Gnarlid Colony. Yeah, so we're gonna probably out-tempo our opponent. Yeah, it looks like our opponent is red-white knights. Ardenvale Tactician. Beloved Princess. Weaselback. Okay, opponent just unloaded the entire... So we got... So... 1, 2... 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we can use the Vine Gecko Swing to trample true, but I'm gonna hold out first. I don't like the idea of bouncing the Ardenvale Tactician when our opponent still has a ton of mana, because it's just 2 mana. What we can do is declare attacks first. Okay, we got a plan here. Opponent's also holding up a lot of mana. I know he can pump. No, just going for the Fireborn Knight. Yeah, so we're gonna ruin his day a little bit here. Bounce it back. Then declare attacks, bounce Ardenvale Tactician. Oh, we got a Roost of Drakes also. Save that. Stop after attackers. Now our opponent can choose... Yeah. That was what I figured. If our opponent isn't very interactive, we could wreck them with just multiple copies of Blink and Into the Roil. Okay, you know what? We'll do one more game. We have about enough time. So the cards we added in haven't come into play yet. The Elfame Druid is making its keep, but maybe not as 3 copies. Then yeah, we have Mindstone now, so something to consider. Alternately, could just run Growth Spiral. It's not illegal. Okay, Tornwood Falls, yeah, awkward, but we have double Vine Gecko. I'm willing to just Tornwood Falls, Vine Gecko again. Depends on what our opponent's colors are. Black. Okay, that might be an issue. Let's go for it. Vine Gecko into second Vine Gecko. If our opponent doesn't resolve it, that's a lot of extra mana. If our opponent is actually playing blue-black, so it could be rogues. Okay, answers one Vine Gecko. That's expected. Yeah, no protection this time. We're gonna just go for it. If our opponent has multiple removal, it's mill. Drops a land. Okay, it's a swamp, so needed those lands. Could still, so it could just be straight up removal, which would be annoying. Straight up removal. I'm actually gonna hold. Yeah, I'm actually gonna hold this up. We might need to disrupt something. We're gonna accept that we're gonna lose another 3 cards off the top. Another Ruined Crab. Let's assume it's just a ton of removal. Okay, another Vine Gecko. This is straight up mill. We are in trouble. So if I... Okay, I did say I wanted to draw another. Okay, so our opponent is kind of out of kill. Into the story, draw 4 cards. Let's ruin our opponent's day. Yeah, so the Juari Disruption finally moved worth its weight. I will play Roost. I will play Roost even without it. So we now have the option to... Yeah, wrecking that one into the story was very important. We're still in danger of losing a ton of... Oh, we're in danger of losing a lot of cards. Roost. So let's do the mana math. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, we have enough. Oh, first spell. Okay. And I can't kick Into the Roil anymore. You know what? Let's hold. Let's just hold it as is. Opponent is still willing to take damage, so we're gonna leverage that fact. So we're holding up the Into the Roil just in case our opponent has something. Up. Okay, so they are looking for more lands. Or Teferi's Tutelage. Okay, 9 cards up. Okay, that's the rest of our blings. Well, did we lose both? Nope, we haven't lost the... Okay, so these die. That's fine. So it resets that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And so now there's trample. Our opponent is now kind of incentivized. More importantly, our opponent ran out of cards. Yeah, that counter and Into the Story was very clutch. We might want to consider more. Cling to Dust, exile. Draw a card. Okay. Can't really do anything about it. I think our opponent's trying to draw for answers or more cards. But the thing now is our opponent has to answer at the top here. Cling to Dust again. They're not going. Wait, don't they have plenty of targets? They have plenty of targets. They can buff life. Oh, opponent just goes for a quick concession, so we ran them out. Well, there you go. We actually did get a few wins after all. So it's not the best, but that is the theory. We still never got to test the Mind Stone tech. So it's your call. You can choose between Mind Stone or Grow. Yeah, Grow from the Ashes feels very poor for me right now. That's actually how I feel sometimes. I might want to. No, it's nice I finally got that one. And anyway, it's about enough time already. That's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. I'm looking forward to other events coming up soon, and we'll see. We'll keep going. We'll keep going as things go. I'm also probably gonna try to explore another Brawl deck. That one, yeah, we'll see if I can find one that works. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone.